Welcome to the sound of the all-new Muse Drumline, a fully-fledged drumline library from Muse Sounds, recorded with 21-time world champion drum corps, the Blue Devils, meticulously mapped for out-of-the-box playability and available now for free with the latest update to MuseScore Studio 4.4. The new Drumline sound library works beautifully with our recent Sound Flags feature, putting a range of implements and playing techniques within easy reach. It's compatible with our existing percussion system, and if you open up your old MuseScore Drumline scores in MuseScore Studio 4.4, you'll be given the option to convert your score to the new Drumline format. In addition to our in-house developed Muse Drumline, we're also excited to offer a special version of the long-time industry favourite, Tapspace's Virtual Drumline, or VDL, which is now available for purchase from the brand new Muse Hub in a special version designed to work exclusively with MuseScore Studio. For many instruments, the new drumlines have different sticking samples for nuanced playback. These can be easily heard in your score by going to Add, Text, Sticking, and writing R or L. No further mapping or setup is required. Both the new Muse Drumline and the Muse Sounds edition of VDL have been painstakingly prepared and mapped by our in-house percussion specialist, Zach Jancheski. And it's worth noting that this is just the start of our work to provide you with an awesome percussion and drumline experience in MuseScore Studio. Get the new Muse Drumline from the all-new Muse Hub, which has just been expanded with a huge range of new Muse and third-party libraries designed to work in MuseScore Studio. But let's get back to MuseScore Studio because this is one of the biggest updates we've ever made. Let me show you what you can now do with Engraving in version 4.4. We've dramatically improved the way dynamics work. Take this hairpin for example. Now you can precisely align hairpins to subdivisions of the beat and even to the end of the bar. And this doesn't just go for hairpins. All dynamics and all line objects now have this control. Just hold Shift while using your left and right arrow keys to precisely position pedal marks, tempo changes, stave text lines, and more. Dynamics now also snap more intelligently to adjacent hairpins, so you can move them as a single unit and maintain their horizontal alignment. But there's now even more you can do with dynamics. Let me show you. Using these new options in properties, you can now set a dynamic to apply only to a specific voice or to all voices on the staff. Dynamics can also apply across the entire grand staff, where they'll be properly centered between the staves. Best of all, whatever setting you choose now affects playback, making it possible to voice polyphonic music more accurately, as well as hear different dynamics between the two hands for piano music. But there's still a lot more to cover with Engraving. We've completely overhauled the spacing algorithm for accidentals. Previously, chords with lots of accidentals looked like this. Now, they look like this. More compact and better spaced for legibility. And for the very savvy, there are these new options for controlling how accidentals get positioned in chords. Fretboard diagrams have also been given some love, with new options to change their style and orientation. Lyrics also benefit from improved options for spacing and styling, giving you more control over the gaps between words, dashes, and extension lines. And speaking of lyrics, if you're using a Muse Sounds playback library that supports different phonemes, then these samples can now be triggered by the lyric text itself. For Muse Choir, this means you can just type ah, ooh, or to hear them sung in the score. And you can trigger up to 30 different phonemes from the new Muse Sounds edition of the Voxos Full Choir from Cinesamples, available from the new Muse Hub. There's even more good news in this update, because aside from creating new features, we've also taken the time to solve some long-standing pain points with the app. And it's at this point that I want to say thank you to our open source community for the constant feedback you give us, helping us to identify bugs and areas for improvement. While getting through every issue always takes time, this is what we've done in 4.4. First up is the latency, or the gap in time you hear when entering notes with a MIDI keyboard. In MuseScore Studio 4.4, note input now looks like this. Solved. Thanks also to a host of optimizations to our playback engine, audio export times have been massively reduced, making scores export up to 5 times faster than previously. For large scores using Muse Sounds and VSTs, this is a huge time saver. Hidden instruments can now also be heard in playback, allowing you to hear backing tracks while focusing the score view solely on one or more solo instruments. Clicking and dragging objects from the palettes has also been improved. Palette objects now snap automatically and reliably to their nearest applicable score element. And thanks to one of our community developers, Shao Migros, there are numerous interaction and engraving improvements that'll make the day-to-day of notating music much easier. For example, when changing the duration of multiple notes, all of them now remain selected, which is far more useful when you want to perform a subsequent action on them. And there are new options for always displaying double bar lines before key and time signature changes. As always, existing MuseScore Studio users will receive a notification to update to the latest version. But to get the new Muse Hub, including the new Muse Drumline and other amazing sound libraries, it's best to either download the Hub directly from musehub.com or by pressing this giant download button on our website, musescore.org. We hope you enjoyed this new update, and thank you for using MuseScore Studio.